The name is ice cream, ice cream, ice cream. Up. Loads. Good morning. How are we all doing? Welcome to twitch.tv/ice cream uploads. In before we get banned. Twitch don't like this shit. No, you will not be the dark. Good morning. Welcome into twitch.tv/ice cream uploads. My name is Graham Day. Hey, how you doing? I'm joined by the man that we call Beba.
Hola, ¿qué tal?
Hola, ¿qué tal? Alrit. Wagwan, babe.
Morning. How are we all doing? Yeah, Tito's saying that it's close to 10 a.m. Are you guys okay? Is this your way of signaling that you've been kidnapped and need help? Yes,
Blink
it is. Said
twice. Yeah, we do go live at 10 a.m. ish each and every single weekday, for those of you who don't know. And it's now 11:08. We went live before 11 this morning, which that's quite an achievement for us. We've been busy as hell this last couple of weeks, so getting live before 11 has been an effort. Getting live anywhere near 10 is pretty much, well, it's ish. It's ish. That's what it is. We go live at 10 a.m. ish. And we've been true to that. So do you know what? You get exactly what you promised here on Ice Cream Uploads 10 a.m. Ish. Anyway, so we, if you don't know, are Ice Cream Uploads, and in true ice creamy fashion, this is The Scoop, the UK's #1 video game podcast. And the Crumpet 01 thinks so too, because he's dropped a follow just then. Thank you very much. Welcome into the stream. Hey, how you doing? Yeah, the UK's #1 video game podcast. Even if we do say so ourselves, we are here to give you our thoughts and our impressions on the biggest, the best, and breaking stories from the world of video games over the next hour or so. We do go live on Twitch each and every single weekday at 10 a.m. ish. Giving you our thoughts and impressions on the biggest, the best, and breaking stories, as I said, but it's not just our thoughts and impressions. We want your thoughts and impressions. If you are in the chat, please do feel free to get involved. We turn this live stream into a podcast, a video that goes on YouTube, and an audio podcast that goes on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, Google Play, lots of places where we do go live. I say live, on-demand content. People get to watch and listen whenever they want, but they don't get to get involved right here, right now, live in the chat. You guys get to do that on behalf of those. We want your thoughts and impressions. Give it to us. Not like that. Easy tiger. It's a bit too early for that. Calm down. Anyway, before we do go live, ! Loot drop. If you are a newbie? No, if you are new here, not a new here. Yes, anyway. Stephen Day. Oh, okay, we've got family in the house. Yeah, just turn it into Green Day's family stream. Hey, how you doing?
Danielle's going to turn up in a second. Your brother's already here, I imagine.
Hello, Da. Although my dad's probably not going to turn up to the stream. You know, it's a little bit difficult. I wonder if we're on demand in the afterlife. Anyway, that's a conversation for another time. ! Loot drop. Thank you very much for ads. Oh, we've got a new one. Loot drop and loot diop. We've already got loot droop. Ads. God damn it. So yeah, ! Loot drop. Thanks to ads for dropping that in. Sorry, ads. I think you mean loot droop. ! Loot drop. Oh, you got there. I thought it was the loot droop. Okay, there we got Madge with the loot droop. Okay, loot droop's not working. What's happening?
Isn't it?
Well, Madge just typed
Madge just done it.
Loot droop on it. Oh no, actually, I thought you'd responded. I thought that was used. Yeah, okay.
I do that all the time to you when I'm streaming. And I just ignore it because I think it's part of the chat bot or whatever. But anyway,
nice one, Madge. I knew what was happening. Really, I wasn't confused. I wasn't confused at all. Anyway, ! Loot drop gives you the details of our subscriber giveaway. Each and every month, one lucky subscriber gets a prize. It's a way that we give back to you guys for giving to us with your subscriptions. Doesn't matter if it's a paid sub or a Twitch Prime, Amazon Prime gaming thing. I was gonna do the Dr. Disrespect Twitch Amazon Prime sub, but yeah. Anyway, you get the point. If you got a Prime, throw it at the channel. You get yourself in the loot drop. You could win a prize. Nice. As well as that ! Insert coin. If you don't know who Insert Coin Clothing are, how dare you? Only the best gaming merch in the world, and we are part of the Coin Army as well. We were genuinely the biggest fans of Insert Coin before we became part of the Coin Army. Just want to point that out as well, because there's no hashtag ad. They are not buying our impressions there. Genuinely ridiculously good clothing. It's an actual privilege to be involved in the Coin Army and stream for those. We will be streaming on Insert Coin's channels pretty soon. So make sure you jump in for that.
September 8th.
September 8th. It's like 1 month today. I know that's the 8th. The month, okay, 1 month-ish. It's a few days under. Change bot name to Ice Cream Man. I mean, it used to be Whippy. It used to be called Whippybot. Luke called it Whippy. So you could do like, I don't know if they're still in the commands. Let me see. ! Pet Whippy. Purrs. There you go. There you go. That's legacy. Nobody knows that's there, but it used to be called the Whippy Bot. So Luke set up all the commands like was it like slap, whippy?
I don't think.
Ow! That was cold. Ice cold. There you go.
Oh my god, that is so Luke.
Isn't it? GG's, Mr. Burns. So yeah, it used to be called Whippybot, but people were like, "Who's Whippybot?" And also, if it's Whippybot, it doesn't have access to our emotes. So we realized posting as our account means that anyone that doesn't have access to our emotes, because we don't have all of the emotes. Obviously, massive channels have like 50 odd emotes. We have like 10, something like that. I can't remember what it is. So if anyone raids the channel, we have exclamation mark. Is it raid hype? I never type it, but usually someone like Tito does. Exclamation mark raid hype. So there you go. So those raid emotes, they are like tier 2 or tier 3 or something like that. So not everyone gets to use those emotes. So we changed it to Ice Cream Uploads bot so that people can use those emotes by using that bot. Essentially, that's what it was. So that's why we changed it. So yeah, that's why it's there. It's confusing, but when we're massive, it'll be all fine. Nice. Okay, Bib.
Yes.
I paused then, not for dramatic effect, but just because we were changing scenes. I hear that you are reasonably okay with Dr. Disrespect.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not his biggest fan in the world. That's a lie. Yeah, I love him. I bought his book. I enjoyed his book. Big fan of his. Love his shit. Best streamer to ever do it. Simple as that.
It's okay. Best streamer to ever do it. And you bought his book, even though you can't read, which is impressive. You got
to
love the grind. How would you see him as best video game developer to have ever done it? Thoughts?
I don't think that is in his remit. I think he'd need a better team around him. I think he's got a certain set of skills, which obviously helped him with his Call of Duty days.
All right, Liam Neeson. He's got a particular set of skills.
But I mean, he knows the right people, so.
Well, I mean, you're talking about team. If anyone hasn't seen it, our lead story of the day is that Dr. Disrespect is starting a game development studio with a twist. That twist is that it plans to partner with mega influencers. So the biggest names on Twitch, obviously, myself and Bib did get asked. We decided to say no because, we want to keep impartiality in that. So, yeah, sorry, Doc, mate. It's not true. It's not true. Anyway, the lead story is that Dr. Disrespect is starting his own game studio. We will then follow that with news on FIFA 22's Ultimate Team. There was a video released yesterday that gave all of the details on the new FIFA. So if you want to see that and go through all the details with us, do stick around. We'll then jump into the fact that GTA 5 will be running at 4K 60 FPS on the PS5. So those people that may have been like, okay, I've played through the story twice. Is 4K 60 FPS enough? Keep that thought in mind. We don't need to know right now. And then finally, we will wrap things up with Free Game Wednesday-ish. And the free game has an asterisk on it because it's not quite free. But F1 2020 Grid and Dirt 5 are coming to Game Pass Ultimate for Xbox.
Yay!
Ultimate subscribers. Nice small free games-ish. Free games-ish. But, as mentioned, the lead story is about this man, the two-time, the back-to-back. Tom Ivan at VGC has a story that says, Dr. Disrespect is starting a game development studio with a twist. It plans to partner with, quote, mega influencers, Bibby and Graham, to create a series of games. So, Dr. Disrespect Beam has revealed plans to start his own game development studio. The popular streamer, who once worked as a community manager and level designer at Call of Duty developer Sledgehammer Games, is currently looking to recruit a studio head for the new business. Dr. Disrespect is in partnership with Boom TV. In partnership with Boom TV, actually, this is a quote. I was distracted because when I go full screen, I don't know why, Bibby's screen starts like juttering, and it just looked like something from like a Resident Evil or a Silent Hill, where you see someone kind of like one of those bobblehead nurses just like juddering kind of thing. It was freaking me out. Anyway, back into the room. Quote. Dr. Disrespect, in partnership with Boom TV, is taking on the game industry by storm? Is taking on the game industry by storm? That's two metaphors in one.
Yeah, that's two separate sentences, but there we go.
I'm taking on the game industry by storm to the max. I mean, that's pretty much Dr. Disrespect there, to be fair. Anyway, I'll start again. Dr. Disrespect, in partnership with Boom TV, is taking the game industry by storm and incubating a new AA/AAA gaming studio that has a unique twist to it, reads a job advert on Dr. Disrespect's website. Quote, the studio plans to forge a partnership with a select list of mega influencers and then work closely with them to launch their dream gaming title. Those gaming titles will either be incubated and developed or partner/co-developed with existing indie game developers and launched as mega titles. The successful candidate will be offered a co-founder position, promising a competitive salary and a significant equity stake. They will be charged with, quote, spearheading design, art, core gaming loops, meta, viral and retention loops, and iterate monetization, go-to-market, integrated esports, and influencer marketing. Dr. Disrespect currently streams on YouTube, where his channel has 3.44 million subscribers. He was one of Twitch's most popular streaming personalities prior to June 2020, when he realized that he couldn't be as big as twitch.tv/ice cream upload, so left the platform. No, that's not what he says. But basically, he was booted from Twitch. We know that. We get that. But Dr. Disrespect is starting a studio. Interesting. I mean, I'll jump in first and say that this isn't the most surprising thing. Even, was it yesterday we were talking about Dr. Disrespect designing his own levels? It might have been last week. We've spoken about Dr. Disrespect on and off a little bit with Tito. The last couple of weeks, it's all kind of merged into one. But the gist of it is he actively jumps in, does level design streams, which for some people are really good. For me, a little bit less interesting. But him having his own studio or being involved with development doesn't surprise me too much. The bit that does surprise me, though, is it plans to partner with mega influencers bit. I mean, that is very much Dr. Disrespect's personality. I'm the best, the AAA. It's like the icon, the showstopper, the main event, the whole Shawn Michaels sort of spiel, hit aim for the top sort of thing. So him starting with mega influencers doesn't surprise me, but surely, I mean, I don't know how that works, because partnering with mega influencers are already partnered with agencies already. So being partnered with a development studio, that's almost, I don't. It's weird. It's like if EA or Konami or whatever brand that you spend a lot of time playing with had developers on their list, that's pretty much everything is hashtag ad and spawn. They are speaking from a product that they work on. So if they're partnered with a development studio, then that's owning the journalists and the content. Surely that's a bit bizarre. Anyway, that's my initial thoughts. I've probably got a lot more to uncover in my own mind. But what are you thinking, babe?
I'll just get a joke out of the way. Is it going to be a free running mobile game, and the influencers will just be part of the characters that are going to be in there, just for a massive meme, because he shits on mobile gaming so much? The other side of the coin is he doing the same thing, but he's going to make his own battle royale? Because let's face it, the battle royale genre is the thing that's moved him up to the next level. Like, doesn't really play Call of Duty, he plays Call of Duty Warzone, the battle royale version, but doesn't really play like Black Ops or anything like that. He'll play them, or he'll advertise them if he gets selected to do so each year, but he'll never really spend that much time with them. He obviously smashed Fortnite, he smashed H1Z1, which obviously was the game that brought him to everybody's screens. He was a fucking god at that game. He claims to be the world's greatest at Halo. I haven't really seen much of that. But obviously things like PUBG, I was going to call it Player No Battlegrounds then, how lame. Games like PUBG and things like that are the games that propelled him to the very next level. So I wouldn't put it past him that he was looking at building his own battle royale, because he will have his own ideas of how to make it a battle royale. He'll take all the best workings of all of the best of the games. Fuck me, I'll start again. He'll take the best gubbings of all of the battle royale games that he likes and probably smashes them all together. Maybe includes different loadouts for, say, Ninja sells his rights to the Dark Ninjas in the game, very much like it was on Fortnite, but he'll have like what they did in PUBG, where they'll have certain guns have certain skins. So Ninja will probably use, I don't know, an AK and a pistol, and then he may only have the opportunity to pick up a sniper rifle, whereas the Dark will just have sniper rifle and a mini Uzi or something like that. Just taking the best elements of all the battle royale games and building that up on there. I think legitimately that would be the first thing that he ends up looking at, because he plays so many of them. He has ideas and he complains about so many different versions of different games that he'll just want to take the best of all of them and then make them himself. It won't be a AAA game. It will be a double A game. I imagine he won't have the budget to make a AAA game, and I don't think any other video game studios will help him out at all, which is why he's recruiting from the ground up. So I think the game could be okay. I don't think it's going to be groundbreaking. I think he's going to try too hard. And this is coming from someone who absolutely loves the shit that he does. I just think this might be a little bit too big for him. But who am I to judge? He's made a very, very, very good living out of being the best at what he does. I just think that this may be a little bit of a step too far, especially if he won't have any help whatsoever from any of the big boys coming in to give him any of the not even help, not give him a team, but just give him the facilities to be able to make something like this or have the experience, because he's very good and he is experienced in level design. We've seen it. He's made levels for Call of Duty. If you're making levels for Call of Duty, you're obviously very, very good at what you do. I think this is just might be a little bit of a step too far, but I imagine that's what he hopes people think. And then when he comes out with something, it might be better than average. And then people go, actually, it's a pretty good game. Not excellent, not the best, but it's a very good game. And I think he'll be super happy with that.
Jordan says he's been in game development a lot, even for AAA studios, so he will know what to do. I counter that. I see where you're coming from, but I counter that. He was a level designer. There is so much involved in video game development. There's a reason he's hiring for a studio lead, is because he knows that that's not something he can do. I mean, obviously not something that he will do personally, because obviously he's going to be one of the mega influencers. He's going to be paying himself dividends as part of the company, but also paying himself as a mega influencer probably to carry the campaign. But even if he wasn't streaming, there's different skill sets, and having someone that's a studio head and studio lead that's worked across all the different areas of video game development. You can't just go from being a level designer to leading a AAA studio, and he knows that. So that's the reason why he's hiring that, and that, I think that shows he knows, because the fact that he's put the advert out and he's looking to hopefully bring someone of high tier caliber in, because he's offering co-ownership or whatever it was. What did they say? It was co-founder status.
Yeah. Which is a lot of fucking money if it makes a lot of money. This isn't just a small position, is it? A co-ownership of something with his name on it is going to make you maybe not a millionaire, but very wealthy.
Yeah, I mean, so you've got significant equity stake, cash, competitive salary, cash, and a co-founder position, continued cash. So he's looking to get one of those, like one of the names that you see. Stadia or EA or whatever loop in. EA takes a new studio head. He's looking for that sort of candidate, but he knows that he can't do that. So to offer a co-founder position in something that his Champions Club brand is running, he's definitely aiming high. And I think the fact that he's putting that in there shows that like you say, he knows the processes within a studio, but knowing the processes and being able to do the processes, you know roughly what the processes are involved. I know that designers make things look nice. Doesn't mean I can design. I know that audio engineers take my voice and make it sound beautiful and sexy. Doesn't mean that I'm an audio engineer. I can use Wavelink. There we go. Ta-da! But so he will know a lot of the stuff. Not that he's the person that's coming in is gonna be a level designer, is gonna be QA, is gonna be localization, is gonna be any of that stuff. But they will oversee all of that, and that's something that he hasn't done. Whilst he will be aware of it, the fact that he's putting so much on the table makes me think that, I mean, they do mention AA/AAA. I think that's kind of like a catch-all. They want to aim for AAA, but to go proper AAA, you need talent. And there's a lot of developers. If he's in LA, which I think he is, then there's a lot of developers and a lot of studios in LA. So obviously PUBG Santa Monica, you've got Epic Games is in LA. Boss Key Studios, which was Cliff Blazinski's, was in LA, and obviously they went under because of Epic Games. And there's a bunch more. There's tons in LA. So there's a lot of designers, level designers, a lot of developers of all sizes and stature in there. But getting someone with a proper ability to build and lead a team is difficult. Building a team is incredibly difficult. Getting someone that's experienced to steer a team is hard enough, but getting someone to build that team from the start is supremely difficult. So I think this is going to be a massive, massive ask. Let me jump back up a little bit so I can catch up through the comments. Doctor disrespects football. Just men with mullets, sunglasses, and a tash. Let's go. I'll play it. I'll play it. Ever see the episode of The Simpsons where Homer makes a car for his long lost brother Herb? Yep, I'm getting those vibes. Really niche battle royale shooter inbound. I'm disappointed being Doctor Disrespect. I expected it to be a quadruple A studio. Maybe it is. Maybe that's what it. Maybe people have read it wrong, and it's not AA/AAA. Maybe it's meant to be 5As, and they've just misread it. That's what it is. When it flops, can we call him Doctor Disappoint? Oh, good question. Good question. This might cause a few casualties. He makes a football game, then it's RIP and GGWP for the doc. Microtransactions. It'll feature microtransactions, probably around 4 skins. Maybe. You never know. A pinball battle royale? I don't think so. He's been in game development. I've done that bit. In all seriousness, I think he'll have a lot of good ideas, but wonder if he can create a fun game for mass appeal. I imagine it's going to be technically good, but not for casuals. But he will know the process as being within the studio beforehand. I think I saw the article shown on screen earlier. He's looking for people who know how to make a good game and produce it. Ad says you need everyone to make a game. It's a team process. He'll just fund the game and have his brand on it. Others will create it. He won't even fund it. He'll likely just be a creative director with ideas. Madge says it's clever timing. I wonder if he's hoping to encourage certain people from Activision Blizzard and Ubisoft to jump ship and free themselves from goings on within those companies, potentially. Ad says he can pay me $500,000 and I'll work on the game.
You see, I've seen different things from social media about this. Like, there was one guy, I don't know what the account was. He was complaining, saying, "Imagine a toxic person like the Doctor Disrespect creating a studio. Imagine what it'll be like to work for him." I'm like, do you know what? All the bad press that the Doc gets, he also does get a lot of good press as well, because if you can separate the character from the person, if you've watched any interviews with just Guy Beam as Guy Beam rather than Doctor Disrespect, it's literally like The Mask. Do you know what I mean? So like, is what's Jim Carrey's character called?
Stanley Ipkiss.
Stanley Ipkiss, yeah, that's it. Sorry.
Not that I've seen The Mask before. I don't know. That was
It's
literally
like
just sat there on the tip of my tongue. Someone asked me what's The Mask's real.
Someone asked me what it was. But yeah, it's like Stanley Ipkiss. And The Mask. It's like literally 2 different personalities. So I can see where people are coming from with that, because all they ever read is all the bad shit that he does, and then the inevitable comments of, "Oh well, at least full well he's going to be filming in the toilets and stuff like that." It's like, yeah.
The thing is,
it feels like I'm going into bat for him, which I will do.
Yeah,
but...
I will do as well, because I'm not necessarily going into bat for him. I'm going into bat for the internet's ignorance. I'm batting against that, which I get, because it's stepping into the realms of fake news, and you see it all the time. But like, how many people will watch Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson talking about how nice Emily Blunt was on the Jungle Cruise, and everyone's he's such a lovely guy, but he's a great dad. I want him to be my friend. I'd like to go for a beer with The Rock, but yet The Rock was Dr. Disrespect. Him as a young person, flicking the eyebrow up, going sort of stuff, wearing his shit shirts. He was a twat.
Fantastic shirts.
I mean, Bibby is probably one of the only people in the world but The Rock was a cunt. He was a heel. It was a persona. It was a character. The Rock was a toxic, nasty, chauvinistic prick. But The Rock isn't a person. The Rock is a persona played by an actor called Dwayne Johnson. And Dr. Disrespect, I mean, people are judging how toxic someone is and treating him as a real person when his name is Dr. Disrespect. Yes, because that's a real person. Great. Yes, and Dr. Robotnik, he's a knobhead as well. Yeah, all of these toxic doctors. Okay, well it's an act. That's the point. It's like watching pick a sci-fi film, and the villain in it is probably a decent person. Do you know what? Voldemort, a lot of people can't even say his name. He's that evil, played by Ralph Fiennes, who's good enough to be James Bond's boss in the newest James Bond film. So, is he good? Is he bad? Is he both? It's different. Stone Cold Steve Austin is greater than the cock. Do you know? I used to think so, but I don't know. It went in. in WWE terms, he was for me. Stone Cold just paved the way for someone like The Rock. But in terms
Stone
of
Cold was an everyman, wasn't he?
yeah,
That was the point. He was a fight against your boss type of guy. Like he was a blue collar worker kind of
but
thing.
he was one of the most successful to ever do the heel turn. Like to go from pure hatred, winning Royal Rumbles when everyone was after him and stuff like that, to being the darling, to being hated, to being the darling again, kind of thing. He kind of made the mold for The Rock to develop it. The Rock did it differently, and I'm not taking any credit away from the way The Rock did it. So I think in WWE, I probably preferred Stone Cold. But in overall career, and what everything The Rock has gone on to be afterwards, obviously that kind of rose-tinted glasses. Well, you kind of bring up the past based on the future in that sort of sense. So I kind of think now, maybe, yeah. But yeah, in WWE terms, definitely for me. Fortnite, but realistic graphics using UE5. End of 22 or 2023 release. So Switch Pro confirmed, Kappa. Ads.
I mean, if Fortnite used realistic graphics using UE5 without the building, I wouldn't need another battle royale. Like, I love the way that Fortnite plays. I actually love the way that Fortnite looks. It genuinely is just a building that fucks me off. But you getting the best out of the UE5, there isn't many games out there now that will be able to do that, because obviously they delayed UE5 for a while and people were trying to get used to using that engine. I mean, the stuff from UE4 is transferable to UE5. It's just UE5 has got a bigger wardrobe, shall we say, of tools to be able to use and better resolutions and better textures and stuff like that. So even if it was built in UE4, maybe 2 years' time, you'd see a game that may be using stuff from UE5. That's why UE is so good, because you can use it for everything. It's scalable. You can, yeah, it's as simple as that, really. But yeah, I mean, I'd love that.
Would developers / publishers / investors be nervous surrounding his Twitch drama? I mean, it's still unresolved and no one really knows what that was. That's a good question. That's a good question. I mean, people assuming he's toxic and stuff, that just shows people that don't know what they're on about. Because a lot of journalists have clashed with Dr. Disrespect, so he gets a lot of negative press, which then filters out. And people see negative headlines, see a toxic character, and instantly go, well, cancel that. We don't like that today. And it's so much more than that. Like, literally, genuinely, shower thoughts this morning. I was thinking, oh, Doctober's coming up soon. Me and Bib should get some fucking Dr. Disrespect cosplay on. Yeah, baby. And then I thought, actually, probably not. But Doctober's a good point. If you haven't seen Doctober, he does a big October Halloween cosplay fancy dress competition where people send whatever they want in. It doesn't necessarily have to be fancy dress. It could be do something creative, create a poster, create some artwork, create a mini movie or whatever, and send it into the doc. And he picks a bunch of them to be showed on his stream and stuff to give them a little bit of publicity. Some of them get prizes, and then the winner gets a massive, like, £10,000 prize haul from all of his sponsors, like the Asus and whatever his sponsors are now. So, like, but in doing a lot of that, he shows like little kids playing Fortnite that are inspired by him, and like I think the one I saw a couple of years ago, some little kid won the competition kind of thing, and then the year before that at Christmas, he was randomly, we were wrapping presents on Christmas Eve, and the doc was streaming Fortnite. There was not really much around. I think it was in the period of blackout, so that had died by that point. PUBG was kind of tailing off, so he was playing Fortnite all Christmas Eve and just jumping in with randoms. And this kid jumped in with his like, "What's the 2x? What's the 2x champion?" And he's like, "Seriously, you don't know who I am." And anyways, they played with this kid, and this kid was like really cool with the way he was interacting with him. And he jumped back in and played a bunch of games with him. This kid, I think, was streaming on Twitch or something like that. So the doc got shitloads of people to follow his channel. He got loads of subs, loads of donos and stuff like that, because he's a really good person deep down. When it comes to family and kids and things like that, absolute levels. So him being someone that's a studio head and co-founder, I don't see the Dr. Disrespect character there. I see a person that has a family. Yeah, fair enough, he's made cock-ups, obviously, with his relationship. That's where people go, yeah, but he cheated on his wife, mate. It's like, oh, yeah, but that's his personal life. He's still a good person. Doesn't mean he's not made mistakes. But forget that. I don't know the details of that. For all we know, she could be beating him. I don't think that's the case. But that's the point. We don't know. She could have been an angel to him. We don't know. Forgetting all of that, though, from what I've seen, the evidence that I've seen, he seems like he has a good core. And if he can build from that as a studio head, then that is better. So to loop back into Tito's question, would people be worried? That is better than what the alternative is. Because what's the alternative? So your options are go to Dr. Disrespect Studio, where someone has done something questionable, but you're not sure what it is, but he's a good person with a good family grounding core and will look after you. Or go to another studio like Activision, which has done something questionable, but you do know what that is because they are currently in court with the DFEH. So is the alternative any better? Go into an Activision. I think developers will take the chance, because if there was something concrete, if there was something that was going to happen to the doc, it would have happened by now, surely. I mean, I'm not saying it wasn't good or bad or whatever, we don't know. But if something was going to come of that, it would have happened by now. And not only that, as a developer, if you can go from being treated in a frat boy toxic workplace to working on games with Dr. Disrespect, even if it flops, if you go through the build-up cycle of the Champions Club's next game, you work with mega influencers like the Timmy Tenders, the Shrouds, the Lyrics, the Ninjas, whoever. They're all playing games because they're all in sync with the doc. If you've got that on your resume as a developer, yeah, all right then. I went there for 9 months and I moved on, but I've got this fucking huge thing to put on my resume. So I think developers, I don't think any of that other stuff is gonna make them like bat an eyelid. I think they will ask questions, and they would be daft if they didn't sit in the interview and go, okay, you can't tell me what happened, but this is my future that I'm pledging towards. I want to know, is that going to be something that comes back? No. Okay, nice. Okay, well, I mean, at least you said no. You've given me a concrete answer there, whereas I can go back to Frat Boyville over there and carry on as we were, getting bullied. So, yeah, I think he would... I think he would, because his name and his face on it. The thing as well is, if you've got Activision Studios, the likes of the Bobby Kotick's of the world and so on like that, they are... Whilst they're public-facing-ish, they're not public-facing. But Dr. Disrespect has people that can actually talk to him on his stream every day that he streams. And the same thing with all of the other content creators that would be involved with it. There's no hiding for him. So that's a bit different as well. I mean, how many studio heads and co-founders, I mean, obviously he's not going to be a studio head, but he's going to be a co-founder. How many co-founders of video game development studios stream on Twitch? That's a difference as well. He's not going to be, if he's going to be going in and fumbling the ball in terms of human resources and staff, then he's not going to be on Twitch for very long, because people ain't going to live for that shit. So it has to perform, which is a good thing. It means that he's been held up to standard, kind of thing. Yeah. The person seems like a genuinely good guy. Not perfect. We know his most public fuck-ups, but he does seem like a likable person. I think I might have read that bit already. I always come back to sweaty men in spandex. You goddamn right. Kick ass, drink beer, fuck fear. All the Dr. Disrespect microtransaction skins. Money. I mean, that's it though. I mean, that's where they're looking. Because if they can get the mega influencer list, there will always be someone in the world that has an idea of bringing in sports stars and celebrities and influencers as they are today, because that is always the play. If you can get the sports stars, celebrities, key opinion leaders, or influencers in your pocket, on your brand will be successful. It doesn't necessarily have to be the best, the most exciting. Twitter keeps on telling me, Rihanna's a billionaire, and it's not because of her music, it's because of her clothing lines and makeup. I was like, I don't care. But I do know that news exists now. But if Rihanna wasn't in that celebrity sphere, would her clothing line and makeup have set the world on fire? No, because she's successful, because she's successful. It's kind of where success breeds success. And if he can bring that into game development, into game promotion, even if the games are okay, if you've got the top people in the world playing that game, then the games will do bits. They will go bigger than they should be, which means they can build going forward. Yeah, it brings the key opinion leaders, and if they're involved with it, not just as journalists and content creators, but if they're involved with it and have a stake in making sure that the Doc's game is successful, and then he's because they want to be involved in the next game, then it's just going to get good press. It's going to get everyone playing it, and a lot of people, as we've seen, are sheep. They will play what they're told to play. So if everyone that's a mega influencer, I mean, that's phrase says, oh, they are mega influencers. If they can influence a mega amount of people to play the game, then it's a success, and on to the next one, which will in theory, be better, even if the first one's not very good. Still think there's a podcast about wrestling in you guys. Should you wish it, have time for it. I mean, we've spoken about wrestling content before, like doing ice cream uploads, WrestleMania watch-alongs, and things like that. I mean, that was back in the days of having the studio and we were in the same room. So, because you kind of lose the watch-along vibe if I'm just sat here at 3 o'clock in the morning on my own, and Bibby's sat there at 3 o'clock in the morning on his own. But yeah, we've spoken about it. I mean, I don't watch WWE too much now. I've watched some bits of it over the last year, but yeah. Ad says I still watch WWE. Tito says it doesn't even come down to personality. Whatever happened was serious enough for Twitch to pull out of a contract with Dr. D and cancel their biggest streaming channel. That has to be a substantial reason. Yeah, but what is substantial? Is that
you see? I heard something different. I heard this is just along the grapevine. Nothing like, you know. I don't think this is the truth, but I heard that it was something to do with other streamers coming back from Mixer because everyone had left, so they paid him a substantial amount of money, and then other streamers was coming back from another streaming service. So make of that who you will. And they needed to try and get them back on board again, but they needed extra money. Don't know if that's true, but it was just a nice time for them because obviously he did something wrong at E3, and they could easily just get rid of him then and then bring the other two back in again. I don't know. That makes a little bit of sense, but I don't think that Twitch had that hard up that they couldn't afford to pay all three.
Yeah,
if that makes any sense.
I don't believe in that one because that's just Twitch going, oh, we're going to end a contract because this contract. If that was the case, they would be in court already. Because you can't just go, actually, we know we'd committed to a 5-year contract, Aguero, Messi, whatever, but we just don't want to pay you. We'd rather spend the money on 3 other players. So, yeah, no. The point of having a contract with a timescale is that you have to deliver that. And if you don't do that, then there are exit fees, which are usually equal to or more than what the actual contract is worth. That I don't see it being that one. I see it being more like this, and I'm pointing to the side because I've still got the news on the screen. If anyone is dropping in late, this is the lead story of the day. Dr. Disrespect is starting a game development studio with a twist. It plans to partner with mega influencers to create a series of games. One of the things that I did hear about early on, and I say hear about, everyone was talking about it, so it's rumor mill shit, take it with a pinch, was that Dr. Disrespect there was conversations. People, I thought, maybe wrongly assumed that he was in conversation with YouTube and was talking about taking other influencers with him to YouTube. So Twitch got rid of him because he hadn't done anything in terms of signed anything or broken any stuff. But it was the trying to bring other people along. Kind of like a non-compete sort of stuff. If you're a Twitch partner, you agreed to be on Twitch, you agreed to exclusives, all sorts of stuff, and you're not allowed to take other people or poach staff. And I heard it was that. But then I thought, okay, well, he's not gone to YouTube. And the fact that he kind of didn't really exclusively sign with YouTube, he started streaming on YouTube and then became a YouTube verified content creator. And I think even his exclusive stuff with YouTube is still quite light. I think he can get out of that whenever he wants. If I could be wrong. That could have changed. But with him planning to partner with mega influencers now, maybe this just got put on the back burner for 12 months to let the dust settle, and then the studio / influencer partnership element is where he was going from. And Twitch were like, okay, so you want to create games, which we show on Twitch. You want to use mega influencers, which is what Twitch is all about at the top end. So you want to take our product, like vertical integration, monopolize it against us, and then be able to say, okay, if you want this game on Twitch, you're doing it for free. Whereas Twitch would usually be like, yeah, that's $1 million for front page exposure. Dr. Disrespect's like, nope, you can pay me $1 million, or this game's not coming on Twitch. Maybe it's not that, but that's. I mean, there's lots of flaws in that in terms of the top content creators are on Twitch, so that's the only place they can play that game. And but maybe it's something like that. There's conflicts of interest. There's questions that can be asked either way. So that's potential. This could be the reason why he's not on Twitch anymore. Just look at when he has his daughter on stream. That's the real Doc. He gets emotional. Look at when he won Streamer of the Year. He cried. That's the real Doc. Iceman dropping in with a comment that we called earlier on. Yeah. Dr. Disrespect starting a studio. Are there going to be cameras in the toilet? Where's the klaxon? I don't know where it is. I've lost it. No, I don't know where the klaxon. Oh, there we go. I've found it. Yeah. There we go. Nice. He was so humble, he even thanked over the streamers. What if he makes a streamer / content creator simulator? with VR support. I heard Doc told Twitch Mixer offered him a contract, so so Twitch offered him a new one. When Mixer died, Twitch didn't want to pay the new contract. But then, that's the thing, though. Like, I mean, possibly they could have gone, oh, actually, shit, we don't need to pay you anymore, so we'll drop the money down, and then he's fecked off. But they binned his channel. They wouldn't. That doesn't make sense to me, because they killed his channel when he was still expecting content to be going out. Why would they pull the rug out underneath him? They'd still, in theory, just want to leave him there on Twitch doing what he does until he signs a contract with YouTube or whatever. They wouldn't go, okay, well, we're not going to give him the new contract, so we'll get rid of him. You'd go like, okay, we're not giving you the new contract. What are you doing? We're going to leave you there now to think of it. And you'd let him decide what to do. You wouldn't cut off your one of your cash cows, your golden goose, just because you don't want to pay them as much. It's still your golden goose in that sort of sense. A positive spin. Imagine the two-time makes a game that delivers on gameplay, audio, and visual immersion, and is accessible to all. He has actual industry experience and is an avid gamer. He knows the flaws in the current games. Now he has potential to do a game that has it all. I'm excited, and he knows his limits are already advertising for people to fill roles he has no experience or whatever in. Amen. See, that is the one for me. I like the positivity angle. Tito says, let's be honest, you think Dr. D wouldn't have fought back against Twitch if they'd done anything remotely fishy? Even with a YouTube contract, he would go after Twitch for loss of earnings if he had any grounds to. I personally think there was something substantial enough to Twitch dump him and not to take legal action. But on the flip side, Twitch got rid of the largest content creator on their platform at that point in time. He was doing bits with WWE and everything there, crossovers with The Undertaker. Would they just dump someone like that without doing anything to him, without saying anything? Why have Twitch got rid of him without doing anything? So it's kind of a double-edged sword in that sort of sense. Silence is violence from both sides. The fact that the doc hasn't said anything, and he did have that PC Gamer article saying that he wanted to say something, but couldn't because of potential legal stuff, and Twitch haven't said anything either. It's like that why has it ended, but they've not done anything? Could be applied to both sides. That would worry me as an investor party, knowing that something could come out of the woodwork, which for all we know could be an active scale. We just don't know. I mean, it was thrown around like when he went off, the Me Too stuff was kicking off with a lot of content creators and a lot of I think like what's his name? Was it Weinstein, the film dude?
Yeah.
All that stuff was coming out at the same point in time as well. So everyone was like, whoa. But that was the one thing that he did come out and say, going, no, nothing like that. That's all bullshit. So that's something that they've just said flatly, nah, that's just crap. That's just people talking shit on the internet. So I don't know. The truth always comes out in the end. If it was criminal, then the authorities would have been involved by now and reported. He's taking action. It's ongoing still, right? Nobody knows. They were looking at the options or something that was non-committal when it happened at that point in time. But let's jump back to Madge's comment. I like that. I like the positive spin. I mean, the chances are, if you've never made a game before, that you've got a lot to learn, because you've got to get people up to speed. You've got to get people working with, you have to choose an engine first. I mean, does anyone remember Hideo Kojima's tour of the world, where he went and tried Unreal Engine and he tried the Guerrilla Engine and he tried all the other engines and stuff before he'd settled on, I think it was the Guerrilla Engine that he eventually used to make Horizon, not Horizon Zero Dawn, Death Stranding.
Death Stranding.
Yeah, well, that was where the engine was from. So, like, he did this big tour and then got all these people in and stuff. But his first game was exceptional, and he'd had experience working with other studios. So if they can get a Hideo Kojima-esque person at the top, plus good teams underneath, then they've already got one up on Kojima. If they can do that, because Kojima was connected, so is Dr. Disrespect and his contacts in the industry. So if they can go in with the level of connection that Kojima has, but then already have media support, then arguably they're a step in front of Kojima, and they did very well with their first game in Death Stranding. Yes, Dr. Disrespect isn't Kojima, but he knows that. That's why he's employing someone to be that. So I think I'm going to keep an open mind. My worries are not that the game's going to be shit or anything like that. My worry is that when I hear the doc talking about games, what he wants from games is not what I want from games all the time. Verticality, action, this and that, which I like his like action and pace and stuff, but his character is always on. Let's run, let's push, let's get aggressive, which I like. But sometimes the reason I like PUBG is because you don't always have to be that. You can do that and it pays dividends, but you can play slower and let other people do that and overstretch, over aim, throw a punch that they can't land, and then you can counter them. I like that kind of thing. Oh, Mr. T's in as well. Toilet streaming simulator confirmed. We're going to press it. That's 2. We got 2. Mr. T, I pressed it twice. We mentioned that someone's going to mention the toilet streaming stuff, and Iceman got there first, and then you followed. But good morning. So yeah, I'll keep my mind open. I will see what happens. He's not going to be the studio head. He's not going to be the developer. He's going to be a figurehead, and he potentially brings the relationship kind of stuff. It's like when you see David Beckham launching a football team in Miami. David Beckham is the figurehead. Someone else behind him is doing all the planning, all the meetings with the staff, all of the structure in terms of the workflows, sorting out the finance departments and everything else, buying in the PCs, speaking to the IT and structural engineers and stuff like that. David Beckham is the guy that's in the front going, hey, how you doing? Just like Hague Club Whiskey, Conor McGregor's Proper 12 Whiskey or whatever. Yeah, all right, it shows his face on it, but they always go, no, I'm really involved in the... No, you're not. You're not at all. You don't... You went...
They get to taste... They get to taste it when everyone else has done all the work.
Yeah, exactly. And that's probably where Dr. Disrespect sits in this, which is exactly how I'd want it to be. I mean, he's probably going to be a bit more hands-on because he has been a developer. David Beckham has never brewed a whiskey before. He kicked footballs. A little bit different. Whereas Dr. Disrespect is a little...
football club and they're doing shit.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, Dr. Disrespect may have a little bit more idea of it, but as a good manager, he shouldn't want to be in there anyway. You pay people to do a better job than you for a reason. They do a better job than you. Let them do their job better. You are senior. You are above them. You're getting paid more, but you don't do their job. On their for their area of the business. Let's say it's localization, because he was a level designer. He didn't do any localization. So even a localization junior has more experience than Dr. Disrespect. So he's on a lot less money, but he knows it more. Just let him do his job. Back off. The localization managers can sort that sort of shit out. But yeah. Anyway, let's move ahead. We spent a lot of time on this. Dr. Disrespect is starting a game studio. They're aiming at AA/AAA, which there's a lot of pitfalls. If you're aiming at AAA, that is a big level to hit. Usually takes years of development, so we could be starting to hear about this now. We might not see anything till 2025 if that's the case, because they've got no ideas for games potentially, and if they've got ideas, they've not started that. They've got no prototypes. Nothing's been greenlit, signed off. They haven't even greenlit and signed off a studio founder/head. So long way away, but exciting. I'm intrigued to see how it unfolds. I would imagine that the question about the Twitch ban would be discussed in private with NDA in place if they are serious in joining him. Even still, I think if they've not mentioned anything, they probably wouldn't do it en masse, because if you're talking about it in place with NDA, you do that with 50 members of staff. Someone could mention that without getting it out. So I think even with NDAs in place, they would probably be protective on how they phrase that, i.e. not give any details, but give assurances. Porno simulator or riots? Probably riots. There were local variants like Loo streaming simulator and lavatory streaming simulator for the right audiences. Goddamn right. Is already flushed with success. The only whiskey I want is Trey Commas, one for Silicon Valley fans. Don't forget Bog streaming simulator and Dunny streaming simulator. Good eye, mate. Bonza. You're hired. There you go. Mr. T and Iceman. Flushing the industry with games. Yay! Anyway, on that one, let's move ahead. So the next story...
57 minutes.
Yeah.
50 minutes we've been at that story, mad.
The worst thing is like 50 minutes on that story, and now we're jumping into a story where we could spend 50 minutes. Anyway, so not going...
Like for part two.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what they're doing TikTok, innit?
Yeah. If you like this video, you want to see more, you want to hear us talk about FIFA Ultimate Team, then smash that like button right now, down below the video. Yeah. Also smash your face into your phone and then yelp. I don't know, just because. But the next story is about FIFA Ultimate Team. Chris Scullion at VGC. We're just going to gloss through this because we could spend a lot of time talking about football games. We like football, so it's just what we do. EA details all the new features coming to FIFA 22 Ultimate Team. The game's most popular mode is making some changes to, quote, reduce the overall commitment required. Let me hit play on the trailer, although I'm going to give it a good old mute whilst it's on. EA has detailed a lengthy list of changes being made to its popular Ultimate Team mode in FIFA 22, including some tweaks designed to require less commitment from players during weekends. In a pitch notes blog on the game's website, FIFA Ultimate Team, or FUT, lead producer Mike Barnux, is it Barnux? We'll go with goes into detail on a number of new features that will be added to the mode this year. I wonder if that's the first time anyone's described the end of his name as X. But yes, there you go. The FUT Champions Contest, which usually takes place from Friday evenings to Monday mornings, will now be spread throughout the week with a new structure including Champions playoffs and finals. When players earn enough qualification points in division rivals, they'll automatically be entered into the playoffs, can start playing whenever they're ready. I'll hit pause on the video. I will come back and play it whilst we carry on talking. The playoffs are open for the duration of a season, around 6 weeks, and players will play a limited number of games, earning points to earn rewards. If they earn enough points, they'll get a finals qualification token, which lets them take part in the main FUT Champions finals. These take place on weekends, like the Weekend League in FIFA 21 did, and give bigger rewards depending on where players finish. Elsewhere in FUT, Division Rivals, which EA says is the most popular FUT mode, is getting a restructure to reduce weekly match requirements and give players new ways to earn rewards for playing at the level they're comfortable with. Division Rivals is moving to a new ladder system where each division is made of ranks and stages. When players win a game, they'll progress a stage. If they start a winning, that I'm guessing should be streak, they'll move forward multiple stages, earning new rewards as they pass certain ranks. At the end of each season, there will be a refresh, and players will roll back to a lower division to give them something to aim towards in the following season. On the pitch, the game will introduce new FUT heroes, who are special players from the contemporary era of football and are based on specific moments in their career. Iconic moments. FUT heroes are different to icons in that they're also assigned a league. For example, the Tim Cahill FUT hero is assigned to the Premier League, meaning he'll get a green chemistry link with any other Premier League player. Stadium customization is also seeing improvements with new crowd customization options, including crowd cards, 2 stick banners and flags, and new VIP arena in the stadium, which can be decorated with its own Tifo display. There will also be new seasonal themes that are shared across both FUT and Vault of Football Street mode. GG's bib. The first season's theme will be Future Football and will feature futuristic kit stadiums, themes, Tifos, VIP areas, and pitch trophies. Previous pitch notes articles FIFA 22 have highlighted the changes made to gameplay, pro clubs, and career mode. It's coming out in October 1st, for all of the formats. I'm going to hit play on this now, though.
Including Stadia.
Yikes. Is that even a thing? So, lots coming to FIFA 22 Ultimate Team, including a guy whose name ends in X. Bib, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, do you know what I love most about this, Graham? Is, and I need help from people in the chat who are FUT mad, like who know the game mode inside out, because I don't. I think I hold a very unbiased opinion of FIFA because I am predominantly a PES player, but I do love to play FIFA as well for certain modes. Like FUT just isn't one of them because it feels like a second job. Do you know what I mean? Like people can berate all these pack streamers and stuff like that, but that is one of the biggest parts of the game. Like doing your SBCs and stuff like that. That's a lot more enjoyable to some people than actually playing the game. Which again, if that's what you get your kicks out of, that's mint. It's just like a Panini sticker book. You're good to go. That would be entertaining. You could do it on your phone. You could do it on your PC. So I need to know. I need some more details from people who actually play the game inside out, because I'm about to make a comment that will make me sound super stupid, or it's kind of around that ballpark. So for what I get from what we've read so far, I haven't read any of the pitch notes, but it seems to me you can play this at your own pace, and that I think is the one thing that I enjoy most about this. And it may be the gate opening for someone like me who doesn't give FUT the time of day, really. Like, I love to play Volta. I love to play pro clubs. The career mode this year was pretty decent as well. It felt like it was merging some of a better football manager in with a career mode, which I'm all down for. Do you know what I mean? Get a football manager, one of my favorite games, and merge it into a football game that I can play either as the players on the pitch or jump out and just watch it from the top down view. Fantastic. A bit of that I'm very happy.
I'm just going to jump in for just a second. This is completely off topic and not anything to do with me listening to you there. In this trailer, it's showing you Roy Keane's hero card thing, and it's a picture of him lifting the Carling Cup with Tottenham, but they've blurred out Carling, so he's just lifting Cup. Nice. Anyway, sorry, continue.
Did you say Roy Keane then?
I probably did. Robbie Keane.
Yeah, I was about to say, where did Roy Keane play for Tottenham? But I just fell off a little bit there.
Honestly, I just trophy-winning Irishman called Keane. It's where my mind goes instantly.
But anyway, yeah, to a degree, it looks like the door might be open for me to be able to play a little bit of foot this year because I don't have the time. Like, I do love opening my Prime packs. Like, I do get that little bit of buzz out of it, but it's a free pack. Do you know what I mean? You're not really paying for it, and I'm not having to grind for it. I do love the thoughts of doing SBCs. I did a couple when we was in the office at dinner times. I was starting to do a few SBCs just to pass the time and stuff. So this may be opening the gate for someone like me who can't afford the time needed to be able to compete at a very high level, which I never would do anyway because I'm fucking shit at football games. Apart from we do Masters League and we win leagues, you know. Left,
You
right,
got damn
centre.
right. Lolo, he's Castolo, he's Castolo, he's Castolo.
Well, yeah, I think this kind of opens the gate a little bit for me. If I'm reading it right, it does seem like you can probably play it at your own pace. It gives you 6 weeks to, which is, I imagine, like a season pass type of thing. So it gives you 6 weeks to get through the season pass, and then a new season will start. So you can kind of play it at your own pace. You can have the playoffs. You can jump into the weekend league if you want. But I think this might be a little bit healthier for someone like Bateson, someone like Manny, someone like Run the Foot Market who spends their entire weekends, especially because Manny's got a little one now. Do you know what I mean? Bateson's obviously got 2 kids. So this is usually time that they would spend. I know it's like boo-hoo, they earn a lot of money doing it, but it's still time away from doing what they want to do because they have to play at weekend. They have to spend all of their time playing 30 matches over a weekend. I would never do it.
I mean,
I've got better things to do.
I watch Bateson more often on the weekend. So I'll wake up on Saturday morning and we've got TV, we Twitch on it in the bedroom. And no one else streams on a Saturday morning. Pro tip, if you want to be a streamer and you want a window where other people aren't making too much content, Saturday morning is a good window. So I turn it on and Bateson is kind of like one of the only people that's usually on. So I'll watch him do draft because that's usually where he starts off his stream, and then he jumps into Foot Champ stuff. And that is where my experience with Champs comes from. I don't play much FIFA, and Champs is not for me because I see it as elitist. You have to be the best. You have to be sweaty. And everyone else, from my perspective, I mean, I'm not a player, everyone else that I see from my perspective, which bearing in mind is in my echo chamber, content creators. I'm not speaking to other everyday players. I'm speaking to people that are very competitive or content creators, and they say things like playing Foot Champs in August, ugh, because it's full of sweats. It's tryhards. It's people that will do anything to win. It's people that are playing for the win because it's basically a ranked competitive mode. And if they can keep that ranked competitive mode, but make it so that you are segmented to playing against people at your level, then that is better for me because I don't have the time to play even PES at that level. So FIFA, which is a game that I enjoy when I'm playing with other people. So when I play bits with Babe, I enjoy playing FIFA. I mean, I'm shit at it because like the minutia, the details of knowing that split second where you turn on PES or you do the double touch or you can Marseille roulette through 2 defenders. Feck knows how to do that, let alone the minutia of when to do that on FIFA. I'm just like
the button combination. It's like playing fucking Mortal Kombat Street Fighter again,
exactly.
You know what I mean?
I am literally like playing on old school D-pad, up, down, left, right. That's me. If you can predict that I can go those 4 directions, you've got me. That's it. Game over.
Absolutely.
So I've got no chance in Champs. But if Champs has basically something that has like the FLID access door where I can play in the FLIDs group, then yes, I'm more likely to play Champs. I mean, I'm probably not going to play Champs, but for people of my ability, it makes it a bit more approachable. Because for me, if I went to Champs, got slapped because I don't have a world-class team, got slapped because I'm not a world-class player, well, I'm not playing that again then. That was fucking... It's the in-betweeners moment. Well, that was fucking horrible or whatever he says. Fucking dreadful. I can't remember. But that's what it would be for me. So if they can make it a bit more accessible, yeah, I'm all for it. Yes, please.
Yeah, accessible, perfect word. And again, like I said before, it's like boohoo, these FIFA YouTubers, they get paid thousands. Yeah, they should do it. To a degree, that's their job. Do you know what I mean? And they know they know the drill. They know that they need to be playing Champs every weekend to get the content out there. They don't have to do it on a stream. but they do that obviously because that's another separate income for them. So yeah, they've a lot of the streamers are very, very good, and it's something for them to grind towards. So Monday to Thursday is them opening packs, doing their Div Rival stuff, and then it gets to the weekend and they have to play the 30 games. If they don't have to do that, they don't have to. That's fantastic. Like you have the option, but I am a massive advocate of skill-based matchmaking, and I know it hinders a lot of people because a lot of people are good, and especially when you get to when you are trying to stream and you have to play against sweat lords. I don't want to say that's your fault for being so fucking good, but like it helps me. I'm playing for. I know full well if I went into a decent Fortnite lobby, then I would just get ripped up. But at the moment, I'm holding my own because it seems to be I'm getting into games that people don't build because either they can't, and I know I'm playing at that level, and I'm happy to be playing at that level because I'm competing to a degree. If I start to win more and more games, eventually I'm going to get dumped into a bigger crowd of people, and that's where the August sweat lords comes in, because it's the same people who have been smashing the game from day one, who spent all their time doing it. And like me and you, we're going into foot this year as noobs. Like I used to play foot 10 years ago when I had more time and I could be asked wasting my weekends, but nowadays, like, obviously I've got a wife, I've got a house, I've got a life. I didn't have a life like 12 years ago when I was just playing video games all the time.
Games
Living
is life. What are you on
for
about?
playing video games and then go and play football on a Sunday. That was literally it. Like we'd go out and stuff like that, but I don't spend all of my time playing video games anymore. So if they could open the door for me and you to do some co-op Ultimate Team where the door is there and we can play against people who predominantly haven't played it previously, who now have the opportunity to be able to do that, I think that's a massive dub. That is a massive dub, and I'm happy
I
that
see
they
you rocking
have.
up in Flid 1.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like playing pro clubs and stuff like that. You get the opportunity to be able to bring your community in and do it. Fair enough, there may be some people on your team that are mega, like Mike and Willis, who've been playing it for fucking 12 years non-stop and in Division 1 and will remain staying there because they are so good at the game. Whereas me and you just rock up and we're just filling up some of the spaces that are there. So if we get the opportunity to be able to do that and play against people our level, mate, that's a massive, massive, massive plus. And I mean, we're trying to read between the lines here. This is just the information that we've been given. We don't know until we play it. But fingers crossed, this is huge for someone like me and you, or maybe someone like Vern, for instance. He's going to start playing FIFA if he has the opportunity to go in there and build up his muscle memory to do fucking Rabonas and flip flaps and fucking rainbow flicks and shit like that. I mean, the door is open. Like, I'd sweat it out every single weekend. He knows. He knows the vibe.
He knows goddamn right. Iceman says, those designs in the final screenshot look on brand for ICU, which I have on screen there. So, future football theme. I mean, that does look pretty ICU, that, to be fair. Oof, it's gone full screen. Yeah, look at that ICU colour scheme. Also, how do I get off it? Escape? Nope, I don't know. Is it opening a new window? Nope. Back.
I can see it on the screen.
Yeah, I also fast forwarded to a point in the video where it had the stadiums.
Oh.
So, like, yeah, this sort of design, like that bit there was a bit with a dude on a bike. That looks very ICU as well. So, yeah, they're trying the best to get us. I mean, we might give it a go. It's all right. Calm down. You don't need to try so hard here. God damn. The new divisions they took from the mobile game, but I like the change, says Ads. Hit me up, baby. No alcohol advertising. Yes, that's why Robbie Keane was lifting up the cup. And Iceman says, Robbie Keane, you pillock. I mean, if anything, who's the pillock here? Because you're still correcting me. I've been calling Greg Miller Greg James for 2 years. So you should be used to this by now. Creator clubs in FIFA 22, Master of the League return. You never know. We did discuss about potentially looking at Masters of the League. Although I would probably want to change the name because Masters of the League is a play on Masters of the Universe, obviously from the logo branding, but also Master League. So Master League in career mode. What is this? So we'll see. You still have to play 20 games at the weekend apparently, which 20 games is not too long really. Like yeah, it's
less than 30. It used to be 40.
Yeah, I mean it's a commitment, but what if that is your game? I spend hours on PUBG every day. to do my daily missions. If I didn't have daily missions but had weekend missions, then there's a bunch of hours just there kind of stuff. So it's difficult. 20 games is a lot for some people, but it's a drop in the ocean for others, and that's the difficulty. 20 games is probably good. 10 games is not enough really for people that want content in video games. 40 games is ridiculous. But yeah. Love the new pack design. I'm excited for FIFA as an old gen player. All these changes are great. Not just for if online's not smooth, I'll play career, and definitely playing clubs is the best mode. MOTP, Masters of the Pitch. Well, you never know. It's actually a good shout. It's a good shout. Okay, we are just about out of time, so let me quickly go through the next two articles. We'll just do them back to back so we can tick off the news. They're not really major news articles to pull forward for another day, so we'll just jump through the details. Obviously, we're giving you the heads up already that GTA 5 will seemingly run at 4K 60 FPS on PS5. This is written by Sherif, Saed at VG247. It says the PlayStation blog may have inadvertently confirmed a big detail about the upcoming GTA 5 release on PS5. GTA 5 arrives on PS5 and Xbox Series S X and S this November. We know that it will be enhanced in some ways to take advantage of the new hardware, but Rockstar has yet to offer any specifics. In a look-ahead post on the German PlayStation blog via Eurogamer, the official outlet listed a number of games coming to the PS5, and GTA 5 was among those, with the blog saying it will render at a 4K resolution and run at 60 FPS. This isn't exactly earth-shattering news, of course, considering the power of the new consoles, but it is big news for console players who've been stuck with a 30 FPS game for 2 generations now. This could also be a bit of conjecture on the PS blog's part, given how many games offer higher frame rates on new consoles. So it's worth keeping that in mind before getting too excited. Given the PS5 and Xbox Series X are identical in power, you can likely expect a similar performance on Microsoft console. Series S, however, remains a mystery. So if you want to play GTA 5 on next gen, chances are, whatever console you get it on, it's going to look the shit. Speaking about next gen consoles, if you do have an Xbox, there are new games that you can play for *free*. Joshua Henry at the Gamer has this saying: F1 2020, Grid, and Dirt 5 are coming to Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. Xbox Game Pass is about to inject even more adrenaline into the platform with the addition of 5 new racing games. These games stem from EA's surprise acquisition of Codemasters earlier this year, and that acquisition is now proving worthwhile for EA Play and Game Pass members. Beginning today, Codemasters Dirt 4, Dirt Rally, Dirt 2.0, F1 2020, and Grid are all available on EA Play and Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. These additions were tweeted out earlier this week by the official EA Play Twitter. The tweet was also accompanied by an official welcome to Codemasters, welcome to Codemasters to the EA family. There we go. We don't need to look at what Codemasters is. We know it's a brand that makes racing games, and they were bought by EA. But if you have EA Play, which I do, or Game Pass Ultimate, which Bib does, then you get access to a bunch of new racing games. F1 2020, Grid, Dirt 5, and more. Fill your boots. And by boots, I mean game libraries. And that is the end of the show. Thank you, everyone, for joining us for today's news. Just to give you a quick recap, if you did join us late, Dr. Disrespect is starting a new game studio with a twist. Basically, it's owned by influencers and will feature heavily the biggest influencers. That's the twist. It's not really a twist, but it is actually a twist when you dig into it. Elsewhere, EA details new features for FUT coming in FIFA 22. GTA 5 will run at 4K 60 FPS on PS5 consoles, and a bunch of new games. Well, new games, all games, but racing games are coming to EA Play and Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. Free games-ish, yeah. We are going to disappear, though. Thank you, everyone, for joining us for an early-ish scoop. Finishing the scoop at 12:14. What is this? Madness. We are going to. I know, exactly. We are going to drop off now. We will be back with some games, though. So if you want to jump in and join us with some games, then feel free to stick around in the channel. With that in mind, we're not going to drop a raid in anyone because we're going to come back live again in a few minutes. Yeah, nice. Yes. So feel free.
What are we playing, Graham?
Pub.
I bet everyone else can guess.
Just pub. That's what we're playing. Pub.
We're going to the pub. Fucking great.
Getting slosh, mate.
Get a best simulator.
Yeah, so we're playing PUBG. I got my days wrong, sadly, because I thought it was update day today. So I was waking up this morning thinking, oh yeah, we got the new plane crash mechanic and all sorts of other bits and stuff. But that's going to be tomorrow's PUBG stream. So yeah, if you want to stick around for some PUBG, please do so. If anyone has PUBG and wants to jump in, then please do that too. It was available on PS Plus a while back. It is available on Xbox Game Pass, and we can play with both parties. So yeah, if you've got Xbox PUBG or PlayStation PUBG, please feel free to jump in for some games. Nice. Okay, we are going to disappear, but before we do disappear, Mr. Bibb, is there anything you'd like to add?
Yes, there is, Graham. Thank you very much to each and every one of you that have joined us for today's episode of The Scoop. 3 down, 2 to go. So if you want to
Yeah.
help shape those shows, there is 2 ways that you can do that. First of all, find us on social media. It is at Ice Cream Uploads across all major social media platforms, or get involved with our Discord. If you are watching this in any of our on-demand services or listening to it on any of the podcast services, go into the description. All the links that you need will be in there for you. All we need from you is the URL plus your thoughts and impressions. We will then give you our thoughts and impressions on the very next show, which will be at what time tomorrow, Mr. Graham Day?
Tomorrow we will be going live at the sprightly time of 10 a.m. ish. 10 a.m. ish.
Hey, who knows? It might actually be 10 a.m. tomorrow. Do you know what I mean? We went live at 10 to 11 today. Who knows?
Yeah, going live at a time with a 10 in it. Imagine that. Who'd have thought this? Look at us. Look at us. But yeah, that's it. That's it. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate you being here. King Comic, I didn't actually shout it out, but I appreciate the host an hour ago. Thank you very much, dude. And the Crumpet, Mr. Stephen Day, thank you very much for the follow. I don't know if you're still here. Good morning. Thank you very much for the follow. Love you. Everyone else, love you too. Have a good day. We will see you back here for PUBG in a few. Until then, make sure you stay frosty.
You stay frosty.